Like the video and subscribe right now, or Space Doggo will poop on you from outer space. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Woman, 37, stabs husband multiple times after finding explicit photos of another woman that turned out to be her when she was thinner. One time I was late to practice and coach made me run laps. My dad was the coach and he drove me to practice. You're so beautiful. Marry me? Never mind, I just jerked off, you mean nothing to me. Do you realize that doxing is a crime? Please show me the law. I'm not reading that. People born in 2003 are 23 now, that's crazy. American girls are really like this in real life. I'm not American, I'm Arizonian. Statue of Liberty National Monument. Why'd they put it on an island? What happens if the island floats away? We just lose a national monument. I'm shocked that they didn't think this through when they constructed it. Pants were invented for men, not women. It's impossible for a woman to wear pants, jeans, yoga pants, dress pants, leggings, dungarees, etc. without sexualizing her body, since they highlight her legs, curves, and rear end. Women who want to be modest should not own pants at all. That's a lot of words for nobody will duck me. Brazilian VIP venom shows promises drug to combat Ovid. This is going to be hilarious. My boyfriend's work just sent out this email. Pay attention to the examples they use to describe pungent foods. We should not have to sacrifice our culture at work to appease white people's palates. Just two quick reminders when eating at your desk/cubicle. 1. Please do not eat pungent foods at your desk. Example: fish, kimchi, curry. The strong smells can be bothersome to other. LMAO, is this a joke? Hey, took a look at your profile and saw that you're not only a woman, but you're devilishly attractive and into weed. Ogre, if I may say. Perhaps we should take this tango to the private message box. I used to play the flute, if you know what I cream. Woo baby. What the duck? Jesus, this is the most cringe thing I've ever read. Pilot in North Carolina mysteriously dies after exiting plane and falling 3,500 feet, authorities say. Millennial may not be having kids or getting married right now, but this generation is investing in home ownership with a twist. They're co-buying houses with friends. What part of we are poor aren't you people understanding? This isn't some feel-good story. Many of us wanted families and homes for our families, but we are opting for co-ownership instead. I was badly craving Pizza Hut, so I asked my boyfriend if he'd buy it cause I was broke, and he said no cause I didn't really need it, so I threatened to report him for domestic violence and the mofo was on the app straight away. I took these with my iPhone X, camera quality so surreal it's like Leonardo DiCaprio painted them. Not to be confused with award-winning actor Leonardo da Vinci. At least Russia and China don't illegally invade other countries like the way the US and NATO do. The real aggressors have always been the West, who are trying to surround these countries to undermine their sovereignty. They have the right to defend themselves. I don't think Australia is full of immigrants like the US. I can't tell if you're being serious. Mexico City may not be as diverse as we thought. As Californians and other Americans arrive in Mexico City, many have noted the lack of black culture and black representation in the city. Name a color that doesn't have an E in it. I'll wait. Gray. When I told my English teacher on the first day of school that I was German, his joking response was, "Miss L in the adjacent room is a Jew. Maybe you should go talk to her." I was left speechless. Where I'm from, we still find it hard to talk about Germany's Nazi past, let alone make crude jokes about it. but the Kentucky youth had a field day with the history of my country. People routinely raised their arms to a Hitler salute as I was walking down the hallway, something which could be considered a criminal offense back home. Whenever I'd get into debates with my friends, they would eventually shoot me down, saying, well, at least we didn't exterminate all the Jews. Report of man waving pole with knife attached. I just saw him. It's the tree trimmer. I can't believe this woman sued CNN because they reported correctly that she believes witches impregnate women with demon babies if they dream about movie stars. Demon sperm Dr. Stella Manor loses her defamation suit against CNN for many reasons, not least of which is, it's not defamatory to quote stupid things you've said. If your own words make you look like you're unfit to be an MD, stop saying crazy shit. Just because I'm your cousin, it doesn't mean we can't be together. They let Magic Johnson play basketball with full-blown HIV, but won't let Kyrie Irving play because he won't get a rovid shot. Are you aware that NBA players do not have penetrative shreks during a game? Sup, a high-value man will not be into BDSM. Yes, I'm kink shaming. A high-value man respects and adores women and wouldn't dream of harming her in any way. BDSM is deeply rooted in misogyny, where men resort to literal abuse disguised as kink. There is a strong correlation between the men who practice loving, vanilla shreks with their partners and the respect they have for women. A man who truly respects you will make love to you passionately, without resorting to abuse and degrading acts. Those who want to argue that BDSM is consensual, for most people, it isn't. Consent does not equal coercion. Low-value men who insist on depravity will beg and moan for their partners to agree to whatever disgusting act they saw in a porn movie 2 hours before. Man forced to pay for 2 seats on jet finds their arrows apart. I had a girlfriend tell me once, after she hurt my feelings, that she didn't think she had done anything wrong because she was convinced that guys didn't have feelings. What a world we live in. I wonder how many girls think that way. What the duck? The Tillela used to calculate bots on Twitter listed his account as a likely bot. Twitter obliterates Elon Musk's excuses for killing buyout deal. Living in your car is not beating the housing crisis, it's the housing crisis beating you. I'm living in my car to beat the housing crisis. Here's how I blend in. Couldn't sleep last night. I kept thinking about how the Green Ranger had a dagger that was a flute that sounded like a synthesizer that's trying to sound like a trumpet, and he blew into it with his helmet on. I'm on a Zoom call with economists. Apparently they recently found out that when people don't have money they can't buy things. Last year, I went on a date with a dude, and when I told him I was reading Animal Farm again, he laughed obnoxiously for an entire minute and said I was too old to be reading children's books. I think about that a lot. I wonder if he's still an idiot. I swear white people have it so easy in life. If he wasn't a white man, they would definitely just stole it and pretend the original didn't exist. That moment when Netflix likes your fan art so much that they buy it from you and turn it into an official game. A. I'm not a gringo, I'm an American. B. You are in my country. You do not judge me. C. You do not disrespect me or my fellow Americans. D. If you have been judged in the past in a negative manner, it's because of your people and their actions. E. So shut up and sit down. F. Better yet, go home. Relax gringo. I'm illegal. Breaking. Senate Republicans have just blocked the $35 a month insulin price cap for Americans on private insurance from Democrats' spending bill. Our math teacher is a ducking Nazi? The swastika isn't a Nazi symbol, it is derived from Buddhist symbolism. You should just ask. 11-year-old who saved up money for a lemonade stand was scammed by a man who gave him fake $100 bill and asked for exact change. Woman in coma gives birth and now police want DNA from male workers at healthcare facility. I don't think DNA tests should be done. Let's receive it as a miracle, like we have the Virgin Mary's birth. Or is man too intelligent to ever believe in something so extraordinary that new life somehow produced itself while this woman was in a coma? Perhaps she had a dream of having a Shrekshell encounter with her husband, that her body thought it real enough to produce a pregnancy, or perhaps, if there is no God, why don't atheists indulge in their darkest desires? I know you have probably heard this argument before, but I have yet to meet an atheist engage with the argument honestly. According to many theists, God is the source of all morality. It is sound logic. You have moral laws, you need a moral lawgiver. Under an atheist framework though, who is the moral lawgiver? It can't be the government, cause governments have different laws. There is no source of objective morality to tell you that indulging evil desires like ducking kids, or strangling someone who pisses you off, or praising Hitler is wrong. So why don't you do it? Turns out this image wasn't taken on the James Webb Space Telescope after all. French scientist owns up after star photo revealed to be spicy sausage. Today at the grocery store, a nice young man offered to help with my cases of water. I told him he must be a good Christian guy, and he told me he was an atheist. I immediately felt a cold demonic being in the parking lot. I've been praying and rebuking the devil since then, but he's still got me in fear that demon jumped on me. I need all prayer warriors to join me in rebuking this devil back to hell. I know God says to fear not, but I'm afraid. But that's the book. That's what the book is about. Snowflake students claim Frankenstein's monster was misunderstood and is in fact a victim. What's something that's not a cult but feels like a cult? Islam. Christianity. I repair electromechanical equipment. I once had a guy tell his son right in front of me, "This is why you go to school, so you don't end up like him." Then I told the poor guy that my job requires a degree. He just stood there and stared. Australia doesn't exist, and people who live there are actors paid by NASA, flat earthers claim. 5 to 10 seconds 5G typically leads to tunnel vision, and then loss of consciousness. We have proof. Our tolerance of G-forces depends not only on the magnitude and duration of the acceleration or deceleration, but also on the orientation of our body. We are most vulnerable to a force acting towards the feet, because this sends blood away from the brain. 5 to 10 seconds at 4 to 5G vertically typically leads to tunnel vision, and then loss of consciousness. Fighter jets can pull up to 9G vertically, and the more a pilot can take without blacking out. When I was 5, I found out my grandpa had a twin. When I saw him after my grandpa's funeral, a ducking heads up would have been nice. Officers kill man with no active warrants at wrong house. No active warrants is an odd yet intentionally malicious way of saying innocent man. British India tried to get rid of cobras by offering a reward for captured snakes. Locals started breeding cobras and giving them to the government to collect the reward. The British found out and stopped the program. The breeders then released their snakes, causing the population to increase. Let's play a game. Choose a magic power. First reply will choose a side effect. Featured comment. Young Ken Kaneki. The government Inflation Reduction Act passed. Me shopping for Transformers. Prices haven't decreased. Me. So that was a ducking lie. If you want to be featured in the next video, use hashtag dankness.